Broncos country, what is going on? Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I'm going to get into my top 5 things to watch for when Broncos mandatory mini camp starts next week. But first, want to let you know I got a 2-part Blake Watson film session, film room coming up this weekend. So y'all be sure to smash that like and subscribe. Turn on that bell notifications. Don't have enough of y'all being notified of when I'm dropping these videos. I don't want you to miss it. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into my top 5 things that I'm looking forward to that I have my eye on when it comes to the Broncos and minicamp. Right on. Okay. So, y'all let me know what your top 5 are or if I'm missing any. Something else that you guys think that I should have on my mind. But first one is Riley Moss. He was held out of the last part of voluntary OTAs dealing with some back spasms, but I want to see him back at minicamp, back healthy for the Broncos, and seeing him hopefully assuming and earning that cornerback 2 role opposite of Patrick Surtain. Of course, I think Jaquan McMillan is somebody that we should continue to keep our eyes on. Again, sort of like Chris Harris a little bit, maybe starts out playing the slot and then eventually transitions to playing outside. But I was pretty impressed with McMillan last year, and I wouldn't be surprised if he beats out Riley Moss for that starting cornerback position. However, Riley Moss is somebody, again, we traded up for him. We gave up future draft capital. Seemed to be a very highly productive player at Iowa. I still have high hopes for him. But this is the year. This is the year that we need to see it, especially after taking a redshirt year, essentially, during his rookie season last year with the Broncos. So he is number one, the thing that I'm looking to watch. And now, number 2, we're going on to Javonte Williams. That's right. Somebody that I know Cecil and Mace have reported on saying, hey, he still hasn't looked all that explosive, but there still is time. You guys have brought up in the comments, this wasn't just a normal ACL injury. He essentially tore everything in that knee. It was very similar, if not worse, than some of the injuries like we've seen with J.K. Dobbins, or probably more similar in a sense to what Nick Chubb went through. And Nick Chubb still seems like he has a long ways away. Of course, he's less than a year removed from that injury, but I digress. Javonte Williams is somebody that I want to see in mini camp, taking another step, seeing a little bit more of that explosion, hopefully, because we have a very talented running back room that is going to show no mercy. Like I said, I have a 2-part series coming out on Blake Watson, on his film. We're taking a look at his game. It was like an MVP game against Charlotte. Really interesting, really talented back. But we also have Samaje Perine that's coming back. We have Jaleel McLaughlin, who will not stop talking to Sean Payton, always picking his brain. And Audric Estime will be ready for training camp. But I don't think anybody's spot is safe in that running back room. While I hope that we could keep all of them or the majority of them, we'll just have to see. And maybe Tyler Beatty can do something. But Javonte Williams, I just want to see during this period that he's moving more fluidly, that he has that first step explosion back, okay? That we're starting to see glimpses of it at least, right? This is what we need. He's got to go earn the money. I don't think it's going to be with the Broncos, his next contract, but he's got to go earn that money. In a contract year, he's got to bring it for his own sake, and we're a better team if we're getting the best out of him and hopefully having a career year. I'd love everybody to have a career year for the Broncos this year, right? All right. Number 3, he's becoming a channel favorite. And guys, I do have more film room coming up. And I want to shout out a very special channel here. I'm going to mess it up. Las Vegas Raiders Network. Sanji, he's been a big help with my YouTube channel. He's given me some of his all 22 graciously. So I'm going to have better quality film rooms for you guys instead of that NFL Plus that always messes stuff up. But that being said, more Lucas Krull film room stuff is coming up. You guys are going to love it. But Lucas Krull, now going into his third year in the NFL, we've seen the flashes. We saw, again, how Sean Payton schemed this guy open, even against his first game against the Buffalo Bills. Athletic, 6'6", 260, can stretch the field. He can run those seam routes. He can run those outs, posts, can run the flats just fine. He can block serviceably. I want to see him improve with that, but we probably won't get a gauge on that until preseason, maybe some training camp. But Lucas Krull, what I want to see is that people see his athleticism, his speed, that he's continuing to establish himself as that alpha in the tight end room. As much as I love Greg Dulcich, and I guess he's close to, he should be back soon from that foot surgery he had this offseason, changing his gait, changing his run. I have very low expectations in terms of what I'm expecting from Greg Dulcich. I'm basically expecting nothing. So if we get more than that from Greg Dulcich, that's an A+ in my book this year. We have to see him healthy, but I feel like Lucas Krull is the type of guy that we're hoping Greg Dulcich is. That athletic tight end that can do a little bit of everything. Maybe he's had more speed than Krull in the past, but I want to see Krull continue to take those strides, establish himself as being a main target in this offense. Imagine a tight end to target for Bo Nix. Wouldn't that be great? A rookie quarterback to have a security blanket in their tight end. That's one of the most important things. I think it says a lot that we didn't go out and address that this offseason. I think Sean Payton's pretty high on Lucas Krull, just like many of you guys are. All right. I want to credit you guys. You guys have been talking about Lucas Krull all the time since I started this channel. Okay. Number 4. Let's talk about this. Even with Courtland Sutton coming back for mandatory minicamp, that's going to be wonderful. My eyes are going to be on Marvin Mims. Okay. Again, in this minicamp type of setting, you just want to see that athleticism pop. Okay. You want to see guys, their explosion, their route running, all that sort of stuff really stand out. You want to see that, especially with minimal to no contact. Marvin Mims, I think, especially after those first few games, we were seeing like 1,000-yard receiver his rookie year, right? That didn't go according to a lot of our expectation moving forward after that, right? I want to see Marvin Mims establish himself, that's right, as that alpha in the wide receiver room. Of course, Courtland Sutton's going to come back. My hope is that he remains on the roster this year as a captain. But I want to see Marvin Mims take that step. This was a guy that I, especially post-draft, a lot of people were high on. Not just draft experts, not just fantasy people, but it just seemed like everybody in general. Everybody in general that covers the NFL seems to be very high on Marvin Mims and what he can bring to the table. Again, I think a lot of times we forget he's 6 feet. I guess they have him here as 5'11". I mean, I've seen him measure 6 feet elsewhere. He's got plenty of size combined with that speed to be a big-time threat. Still very young, and if he can take that step this year into a sophomore season in the pros and really command a lot of attention, command double teams this year, that's going to make Courtland Sutton look better. That's going to make Lucas Krull look better. That's going to do a lot of things for Bo Nix or Jarrett Stidham, right? Okay. Marvin Mims, I want to see positive. This is hype season right now, guys, in OTAs, mini camp, training camp. I'm going to be concerned if we don't have Marvin Mims hype season happening right now. I want to see Marvin Mims hyped up. Okay. And lastly, this is no shocker. I want to see Bo Nix continue to take steps. Like I said with Marvin Mims, we want to hear the hype on him. We want to hear Sean Payton still hyping this guy up. Okay. Andrew Mason, Cecil Lammey, some of the other guys have talked about this, how they hope at this point in minicamp, we start splitting the first team reps just between Jarrett Stidham and Bo Nix. Have Zach Wilson go through that QB rehab, the second, third team. Okay. And I want him on the roster. I'll probably link it. My little video on him. But I think that we should pare this down to a 2 quarterback competition right now. Jarrett Stidham against Bo Nix. I want to see Bo Nix continue to build days. build upon days on days. Okay. And I think ideally, what I would like to see from Bo Nix is at the end of minicamp, people are starting to say, hey, he might be jumping Jarrett Stidham. That's what I would hope. But I want to see Bo Nix develop chemistry with Cortland. I want to see him continue to get better when it comes to his ball placement, the footwork, consistency, all of that. It seems like Jarrett Stidham has had more consistent days than anybody else, which that doesn't surprise me. But with Bo Nix being a rookie, some of that consistency building can take a little time. I want to see him start to build that right now. Of course, honorable mention is going to be, I alluded to, Cortland Sutton, who's establishing themselves as the leaders on this defense. With Justin Simmons gone, we'll just have to see. Maybe that's PJ Locke, okay? And I think that would be great. I'm a huge fan of PJ Locke. But yeah, other things to look at are the offensive line is, why am I blanking on their names? Is Alex Forsyth going to be taking the majority of the first team reps at that starting center position? Or is, why am I blanking on his name? Who's the other offensive lineman that we have? Give me 1 second. Wattenberg. Luke Wattenberg, thank you. I kept wanting to say Throckmorton, and I know that was wrong. Or is Luke Wattenberg going to be that guy? Are we going to have to turn things over to Sam Mustipher? I'm not sure. But you can only gain so much, I feel like, from the trenches at this point with minicamp. We'll just have to see. So y'all let me know your thoughts in the comments. This is my minicamp preview. Let me know some things that I need to be looking out for that I might have left out. Let me know your thoughts on my top 5 things that I'm watching for, looking for. And again, I will be back this weekend with some more film room. You're gonna love this Blake Watson stuff. It's good stuff. Okay, so y'all smash that like and subscribe, comment below, turn on those notifications, and as always, y'all, go Broncos.